We go. Okay, we're going to talk about this is in the 8-week training. If we were doing an 8-week training, this would be week number 2. We're going to talk about developing your personal belief structure and those on your team. And this is a real simple, but it's a real important training because I believe there's 4 beliefs that must be developed. There's 4 foundational beliefs that must be developed, and they're developed over time. Okay, they're developed over time. You don't join a company and then all of a sudden you have the 4 beliefs in place. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what is a real belief and how beliefs are developed. The 4 foundational beliefs, number 1 is in the company. If you don't really believe in the company and the leadership of the company, then you're probably not going to ever really fulfill your potential in whatever opportunity that you're with. And people ask me all the time, say, Dale, why don't you just build a team? Why? Well, number 1, because I feel like with the Leadership Development Academy and the MLM Training Club that I can really, over time, with the help of a lot of great people, make an impact, a positive impact, a disruption on an industry that desperately needs to be impacted and disrupted. That's number 1 reason, but really the number 2 reason is there's a lot of great owners out there and a lot of people, but I just don't have, I don't trust, and I have trust issues, just in general. So there's some great companies, there's some great people, there's some people that I believe that are worth going down the road with, and I have people that contact me from time to time and want me to do different things for different companies, and I won't do it just because because I've made mistakes in the past working with the wrong people, and I don't want to ever do that again if I can help it. So I would rather not do it than to work with the wrong people. So your company, corporate officers is really, really important. Look at their track record. Look at what they've done or not done. I mean, I refer back to, I remember years ago there was a company that was started called Goat Unlimited, and it was like everybody and their brother was calling me about that. And I said, look at the ownership, look at their track record. This is like their 5th or 6th company. It's not a long-term business model. I don't care how much money you're making this month. Why put the time, energy, and effort into something that's not going to be here, almost guaranteed? And I had this conversation so many times, I got to where I didn't even want to answer my phone. And then it wasn't, 6 months down the road where the whole thing got shut down, the owners got prosecuted, and then they skipped town. And the last time I heard anything about them, literally, was on an episode of America's Most Wanted. And maybe that comes to my mind because the company was actually based in Madisonville, Kentucky. So again, look at ownership, look at the corporate officers, pay close attention to that, guys. I think that's the most important part if choosing the right company is who's behind it. Who's behind it? Because there's a lot of companies out there that, they're business people, sometimes multimillionaires who have the mentality. They look at the network marketing business model and it makes so much sense from a cash flow standpoint for the owner, and they think, well, if I build it, they will come, and nobody comes, and they don't have the support or anything in place to help people. So just pay close attention to that. Number 2 is the products. I believe that you need to be passionate about your products. You need to have a real belief in your product. There's so many companies that, they throw up these comp plans and then they find token products to put within the comp plans, and it's all designed around creating income. And I believe to build a long-term business, you have to have products that the marketplace wants. If people want what you're selling, you have the opportunity to become wealthy. If people want it, not that you think it's cool or it's some new app or some new technology or some new whiz bang gizmo that there's no market for except a small minuscule number of people. You got to get away from that. You got to look at is this a valuable product or service that can make an impact for end users, for real customers. And guys, I've been talking about this for years, and it's even becoming more and more important in today's governmental regulation environment that we live in. Number 3, the network marketing business model itself. And this is hard for me to even talk about, honestly. There's a book called The Greatest Opportunity in the History of the World. It's by John Calvert. Really good. Many of the times you've heard me talk about Robert Kiyosaki, The Perfect Business. Very good. Who Stole the American Dream by Burke Hedges. All good, solid information. I don't think it's any secret to anybody that's here tonight that my passion for the network marketing business model and what it can mean for people never left. But I couldn't, in 2000, I was just overcome with all the minutia that was hitting the marketplace. And again, I've talked about this many times. You guys know where I'm coming from on this. The majority of you, you're on here every Thursday. So then, but what are you saying? I believe that the network marketing business model is fragmented to the point that if something doesn't happen like right now, it won't be here for my grandkids. That's why August 2015, we started the podcast. We started doing these webinars. I also believe, and I believe more today, I mean, my belief is getting stronger and stronger right in what I'm getting ready to say. The people that get plugged in to long-term perspective and building real businesses with real customers and real products and real teams with real leaders have more upside potential over the next few years than at any point in the history of this profession. There's people that want to come back to the network marketing business model, but they're looking for leaders that tell the truth, that tell them what they need to hear. They're looking for leaders like you guys that are willing to direct, coach, support, and build a franchise approach to their business. I talk to them daily. And quite frankly, the options available to them at this point today in time in the history of this profession are few and far between. Next year, there'll be more. The year after that, there'll be even more. And 3 or 4 or 5 years, I believe that the scam gurus that are everywhere online will be abolished by people like you who are teaching wisdom of the ages principles and a systematic approach to building teams of people. That's my belief. That's my belief. The fourth belief that people have to have is belief in themselves. That's the rub. That's the rub. But that's the 4 beliefs. As human beings, our emotions make up, our emotional makeup, all of us, we're all made up of opinions, attitudes, and beliefs. We have opinions about everything. We have opinions about things we don't even need to have opinions about. I mean, everybody wants to share their opinion. Opinion about this, opinion about that, opinion. Opinion is very weak. It's not based upon much experience, background, track record, or anything else. It's just, this is what I feel. Opinions are feelings a lot of times, but opinions are like belly buttons. We all have them about everything. You know, my opinion is, I'm so glad the Chicago Cubs won the World Series, but my opinion is, and I don't know, but my opinion is they got lucky because their manager overpitched their closer. And some of you that are baseball fans know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you that don't follow baseball don't have a clue, but that's my opinion. Okay, I'm not I don't know. That's just my opinion from the outside looking in. Then we have attitudes. We have all kinds of opinions, and attitude is something stronger. And some of us have real attitudes about things. And we've heard the terminology, man, they got a real attitude about that. Well, yeah, they do. An attitude is much stronger than an opinion. It's an emotional feeling that's much stronger. And then beliefs. Most of us have 10, 12, 15 true beliefs in our life. Real, true beliefs. We have hundreds of thousands of opinions. We have some strong attitudes about multiple topics, but when it really comes down to belief, we don't have that many real, true, strong beliefs. So working towards belief, when you're working from a point of belief, everything becomes simpler, easier, and works better when you have a true belief in what you're doing. True belief. And why do people join network marketing? Why do they join you? Most people that you talk to, when they're first exposed, have a negative opinion about the profession. Can't say I blame them. Okay, but if you have a belief in what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're doing it, and that you can help them get where they want to go, if you really believe that, they're going to know that and they're going to feel that. If you really believe what you're doing, they're going to know that and they're going to feel that. If you have a mealy-mouthed opinion, which most distributors do when they get started, they go out and they try to, they're trying to talk to Aunt Mary, you should buy my product. I came to your candle party and I did this and I did that. And they try to guilt people into becoming customers or guilt people into looking at their business, and we wonder why it won't work. People will not follow you if you don't know where you're going. You got to know where you're going. You have to have a belief in what you're doing. And sometimes it takes a lot of faith. Faith is the bridge between a positive opinion and a real belief. Some of you are here tonight, you just have a positive opinion about your company, about your products, about the business model, about what can happen, about what you can do. You have a positive opinion about it, but you need to work towards belief. You need to help your people work towards belief. And you'll eventually get an attitude about it, and if you continue to come down the road, you will develop a belief in what you're doing, how you're doing it, why you're doing it. Just for the fun of it tonight, this will be helpful to you. Just being aware of where you are. A lot of times we don't stop and really get real with ourselves about where we really are. So just for the fun of it tonight, I know a lot of you have a notepad there and a pen. Just write down company, products, network marketing, yourself. And by company, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is like, I have an okay opinion. 10 is I have a true belief about my company. So do you have an okay opinion or do you have a true belief? Where are you between 1 and 10? Just for your own, I'm not going to ask you to share this or anything, just for yourself. Where are you with your company? 1 to 10. Where are you with your products, and especially your main product or service, your hero product or service? Where are you there between 1 and 10? What about the network marketing business model? If you're a member of the MLM Training Club and you've been a member for at least 90 days, I hope that you're feeling about the network marketing business model the way you're focused on getting it done is at least a 7 or 8. I hope it is. If it's not, hang around. It'll get there. You'll get to a 10. You'll get to a 10. But I hope it's at least a 7 or 8. I hope that it just makes total sense to you that ultimately your long-term income is in direct proportion to the number of leaders that you develop. If that's true, residual incomes come from the leaders that you develop, that the teams that your leaders develop. That's where the wealth comes from. If long-term income is in direct proportion to the number of leaders that you develop, then what do leaders do? Leaders build teams. What are teams? Teams are groups of people. So how do you take somebody from a cashier at McDonald's to the manager running the entire McDonald's? And that's through a systematic, step-by-step, concept by concept, skill set by skill set approach. They learn how to run the front counter, then they learn how to run the drive-through, then they learn how to make the sandwiches in the back, then they learn how to keep the restaurant clean on a schedule inside and the parking lot. Then they learn the finances, where the safe is, how the night deposits are done, how the day deposits are done. And they learn it step by step, concept by concept, very sequentially, and then you can hand them the keys to the McDonald's, and they can not only run the McDonald's very well, but they can also teach and train the next level of leaders who, when taught systematically, can turn around and develop the next level of leaders, and so on and so forth. And I hope all that makes perfect sense to those of you that are with us tonight. The rub is belief in yourself. That's the hardest part for people. And that all comes down to programming. And the awesome thing is you can totally 100% change your program. You can totally change your program. You are where you are in your life because what's gone into your mind. The only way to change where you are is to change what goes into your mind. You can 100% change your programming. That's why we talk so much about skill sets as well as mindsets. So your company, how do you help people develop belief in their company? They got to get plugged into the world. They got to get plugged into the corporate social media sites, the corporate websites, the corporate trainings that are going on. Events is the number one way. And then another thing that people don't talk about too much is a home office tour. I mean, if your company is located in Dallas and you're in Dallas, then they probably, if they're not, they should be giving home office tours. They should have somebody that gives a tour. People can call and book their tour, and they give tours once a day. A lot of the companies that we've worked with in the past, we've said, look, you got to put together a home office tour DVD so people can see the home office. They can see the people that are supporting them in their business. It's a great thing. Home office tour is something people don't talk about too much. It's a good thing. And then there's a lot of companies now that are operating basically virtually, which is cool as well. But plug into the world, get to the events, get around the people. Number 2, how do you develop a belief in the product? Personal consumption. Personal consumption. And see, a lot of people, they get involved. The science behind a product makes sense. The research and development behind a product makes sense. Or the market dictates that their service is much needed. And maybe they didn't need the service, but they know there's a large market of people that do. Maybe they tried the product, but they didn't get the life-altering results that other people have. And sometimes people get kind of that bothers some people, which is understandable. But my response is, when we were building our primary organization. Many of you know it was in the weight loss business, and we had multiple six-figure earners that were 50 plus pounds overweight. I'm going to say that again. We had multiple 50 six-figure earners, many people, six-figure earners that were at least 50 pounds overweight. Okay, at least 50. So I can argue either side, but this is what I recommend that people get in the habit of doing and teaching people to do. This will help develop belief in any product or service. When you're at an event, if a company is really, really smart, they spend a good chunk of their time letting people talk about what the service has meant to them in their life or the products. And when that part of the event is going on, I always used to communicate to my people, look, I want you to sit there and I want you to pay close attention and I want you to ask yourself, what if I was the one that shared the product with that person? How would that make me feel? What if I was the one that shared the product with that person? How would that make me feel? And guys, this is applicable to any product, service of any kind, because there's people who will get a renewed lease on life because of the skincare product you have, or because of the debt consolidation service that you offer, or whatever it may be. There's people that are going to really be very appreciative of your product or service, and you need to internalize that there's a lot of people out there like that. And then the other thing is people get so bogged down sometimes in competition, and the bottom line is competition doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Most people will never hear about your product because you're afraid of the competition. And that happens a lot, not you guys, but some people are afraid to go into the marketplace sharing their product or service because they have competitors. Well, that's just the way it is. That's the way it is. Number 3, the network marketing business model. I talked about 3 resources I think you should have, that you should use when people are shaky about network marketing because their brothers, wives, uncles, sister spent $172 and they bought a kit and some products and they never made any money, so therefore the whole profession's bad. That's not going to go away, guys. You just have to have some resources that you can help people work through that. Honestly, I think the training club will help people. It's gonna scare them to death first, but it makes common sense to people. It makes, especially the right people. Good people get it. People that walk around every day with dollar signs in their eyes just want to keep people stupid and blind and excited, and that's not a good business plan. It's not a good business plan. So I believe the training club can help people. I really do. I think being real as you can be with people about the path of this profession, really good. I just think it's important. And again, I believe that the upside potential is going to be phenomenal. I feel it. Number 4, this is the most important, helping people believe in themselves. And the best way to do that, number 1, is help them dream again. Most people have lost the ability to dream. They've lost the ability to think, what if that happened for me? What if I could get out of this job that I don't like? What if I could take my family to Hawaii? What if? Let them, because network marketing is so awesome because it has unbelievable, limited upside income potential, which allows you to dream bigger than you would ever be able to dream. And I take myself, for example, when I was working a job. Okay, I knew that my upside potential was limited. I mean, I got in, did what everybody told me to do, worked hard, put my nose to the grindstone, had a great company deal with great benefits, and you stay there and work hard and great things are ahead of you. So I bought that for a little while, and I did, and I got a promotion in about 6 months, and I got another promotion pretty quickly after that. And then after about 2 years, I realized I'm in a position that 70% of this entire huge corporation is at my level, trying to get to the next upward move in the corporate pyramid. And it's like I might be stuck here for years before I ever see another promotion. I mean, I'm stuck. And I got real with that. It's like I don't like going to work every day and looking at all these coworkers. They're at the same level I am. Everybody's competing for the next jobs, and those are few and far between. And kind of hoping my coworker, kicks the bucket or something. I didn't like that environment. I was totally handcuffed. Network marketing takes the handcuffs off. Totally. So, all right, let's see what you can do. Let's get serious. Let's go for it. Takes the handcuffs off. There is no excuses. This is like, can you do it? Can you not do it? Let's get down to where the rubber hits the road, and are you willing to go for it? And all that, whether that happens or whether that doesn't happen, it depends upon the programming which we have, which is based upon our parents, society, and authority figures when we were young. And we can change that. We can reprogram our mind. We can program our mind for massive success. The book you guys have heard me talk about and recommend multiple times, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Also, The Magic of Thinking Big, Psycho-Cybernetics, the classics, guys. You need to read those. I have a program called Programming Your Mind for Success. I just want to mention this tonight. I'm not going to get into details because I don't have them yet. But I do have a program called Programming Your Mind for Success. Of all the trainings I've ever done, to me, this is the most important. It's closed right now. You couldn't order it if you wanted to. I'm going to be re-releasing this in 2017, and at this point, this is the way I believe is going to be the best way for me to do this, because it's the most important program I have. And because I know there's a certain number of people that will buy it and never go through it, I can't handle that. I literally can't handle it, because that program is the most life-altering information that I could ever share with anybody. And the thought of somebody buying it and not following through, it just bothers me at a level it probably shouldn't. But it does. So my plan as of tonight is I'm going to do 3 live workshops next year. Live workshops where you come, you complete the activities. It's a 15-minute a day program that changes people's lives. That's what it is. Way too many testimonies on what this has done for many people. When I didn't even try to get testimonies, didn't even want testimonies, never needed testimonies. Again, I'm not going to talk about this program anymore other than to say that my plan as of right now is to do 3 live events. The first one will be, I think it's January 22nd or 23rd. It's in Palm Beach, Florida. I'll give you details on that at a later date. Then we're going to do one probably maybe in the Atlanta area, and then probably in Lexington or Louisville, Kentucky area. That's my plan for 2017. You'll hear more about that later on. You stop and you think about, why wouldn't people want to double their current full-time income working a part-time gig in a year or two? So, yes, it's possible. We all know that's possible. We all know that's possible, that people can get started, get on the right path, launch their business correctly, do it smart, and create replace their full-time income in a year or two. Working a part-time gig, why wouldn't everybody want to do that? The number one reason people don't join you is they don't think they can. It's their belief structure, guys. Everything's centered around belief. It really, really does. And when you're building a team, you have to be monitoring your people's belief all the time. You have to understand what's their hurdle. How can I help them? Do they need to get more belief in the concept, the business model of network marketing? How can I help them do that? Well, the 3 resources we talked about earlier. The 3 resources. And again, that's what leadership does, guys. You have to help people continue to progress and move down the road. I just want to share with you a couple belief quotes, and I'm about to wrap up. This is wisdom of the ages stuff, guys. All things are possible to those who believe. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It is what it is. It's wisdom of the ages. If you have people that are not moving forward, it's nothing more than lack of belief. It's not that they need more training. If you've been on these webinars for a year, you know what to do. You know what they need to be doing. You're playing ball. If they aren't throwing the ball back, then have definite closure and move on, because you can't keep your mind bogged down with people that are more interested in sitting on the couch than they are moving forward, because you got to find 3 to 5 this year. 3 to 5. That's what you have to do. That's your goal. And you can't do it sending ducks to Eagle School. Gandhi said, if I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning. Man, I love that quote. I can promise you, when I started in this profession, I certainly did not have the capacity to do it, but I believed that I could learn it. I believe that if other average people with above average desire had done it, then Dale Calvert can do it, just like you can do it, just like you have to believe that you can do it. It doesn't take any special God-given talents to build a network marketing team. It takes you don't have to have Michael Jordan jumping ability to build a team. It takes no special God-given talents, skills, and abilities. It just takes the willingness to learn and move forward and take action and fall and get back up and get better and focus on becoming the best leader that you can be. That's all it takes. And everybody listening to me tonight, everybody that ever joins your team, I believe that this profession can maximize their potential as leaders, as human beings, as parents. I believe everybody that joins a network marketing opportunity, as long as it's credible and it's a credible product and everything that we've already know, I believe that wherever they are in their life, at the bare minimum, they can double their full-time income working part-time. Bare minimum. I don't care what they're doing right now. I don't care what their background is. I don't care if they've never even had a job. You can do it. I believe that. I love this quote from the great philosopher William James. He said, belief creates the actual fact. Belief creates the actual fact. Belief creates the actual fact. Man, I love that. That is so good. Muhammad Ali, he said, it's the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. That's it. That's what the 15 minutes a day in the Programming Your Mind for Success program is about. That's what the 15 minutes a day is. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen. Guys, this is just the way it's set up. It's the way it's set up. You can learn to work with it, or you can just try to find the foo-foo dust and the shortcuts. It's up to you. I got to a point after 3 years, I said, you know what? I'm just going to internalize. I'm going to program my mind for success. I'm going to get through the numbers. I'm going to get the emotions out of it. I understand I got a number and I'm going to go for it. And when I bring somebody in, I'm going to give them the best possible direction I possibly can, and understanding that most of them are going to quit in the first 90 days, and that's just the way it is. 70% of the population is going to die broke. There's nothing you, me, your company, your product can ever do about it. But you're not worried about those. It's the 27%ers that will create the fortune, that will become the best leaders that you've ever worked with in your life on your team. It's not the 3%. And again, I could get into the 210 gap in the industry. I'm not going to. Most of you already know what I'm talking about there. But man, truth is truth. Wisdom of the ages is wisdom of the ages. The best marketing lead generation techniques in the world provide very limited success in network marketing. Again, in network marketing, guys, without the proper belief structure. Okay, and please hear what I'm saying. In network marketing, the best marketing lead generation techniques in the world are awesome for most businesses. If I own a restaurant, I want to know the best marketing lead generation techniques in the world to keep my restaurant full. I do. That's good stuff. But it's the best marketing and lead generation techniques in the world provide very limited success in network marketing without the proper belief structure and without understanding that the real product is people. It's people. It's not selling the product. Selling the product is important. You need customers. That's part of the 5 core fundamentals. Strong customer base. But it's developing a people. And don't neglect the activities that create belief in yourself and your team, because belief leads to action. The correct action over a period of time is going to create leaders. Belief leads to consistent action, and consistent, correct action always leads to success in network marketing. So when you cookie cutter it, it can be duplicated. And everything is about duplication. That's the deal. That's the game. It's not about you with your best marketing and lead generation techniques to sell, to get people into a traditional business of some type. This is not traditional, guys. This is the most unique business model in the world, because it has so much. It's more to do than just marketing a product. Residual generational wealth comes from building teams. That's where it's at. And again, if you are brand new, I hope tonight has made sense for you. If you need just to rehash and really dig in deep on a lot of what we've talked about as far as systems and how systems are critical, then I want to recommend that you go to mlmhelp.com/podcast. And if you scroll down that page, probably 3/4 of the way down the page, you'll see this button right here, and you can actually click and listen to it online. And it's where, this is real, to me, I'm just so glad this was recorded. I really am. John Milton Fogg, which many of you know, wrote The Greatest Networker in the World, a great author, been around the industry for a long, long time, just absolutely drilled me on the concept. And the concept of the leadership development paradigm shift is something that you have to maximize your upside potential with this business model. Just wanted to remind you guys, feedback on, hey Dale, I think I would be great at running meetups in my area, or I think I would love to attend. I think it would be great if I could get together with other training club members and do a meetup, because I think that putting some type of formal process together is going to be important long term. And again, I know this is too early in the process, but I don't want to. I just wanted to let you guys know what I was thinking about. So any feedback would be appreciated. Lastly, your feedback on our blogs. When you buy stuff on Amazon or wherever and you leave us feedback there on the podcast, guys, it's real important. I know in my heart and soul the people that I need to work with for us long term. And when I say us, I'm kind of speaking to training club, leadership development academy members, to make an impact on the whole profession. I can, I really can feel it more than I ever have been able to. And, and honestly, I told my parents, I said, look, I'm trying to do something that's just absolutely ludicrous, crazy. I get it. But I know it can be done. And I know there's people out there that feel it, that are part of what we're doing, but I know that there's thousands more that are right now caught in guru world that will do nothing to help them move forward, and that will ultimately, they'll end up leaving the industry worse off than when they started. And I've just got to continue to do whatever I can with your all's help to get people plugged in, because here's what I know. It has nothing to do with Dale Calvert. I promise you. Here's what I know. People recognize wisdom of the ages when they hear it in their heart and soul. They get it. They get it. And when you've got these morons telling people to do things that make absolutely no sense, they know that too. But if that's all they're hearing, and they have a desire to progress and move forward and build a network marketing team, and they have all these people telling them the wrong stuff so they can sell them whatever they're wanting to sell them, their $997 how to blog and attract 30 people a month to your team programs, if that's all that they're seeing, then those people end up buying the foo-foo dust and out of the industry before we ever have the opportunity to share with them wisdom. So be bold, guys. Be bold. Be bold, because wisdom is wisdom. And everything that we do and teach is based upon common sense and wisdom of the ages. And again, I've said 1,000 times, I would debate anything that we teach with anybody, any time in the world, because I know what I know, because I didn't know squat when I started. I really want to read something to you, but I'm not going to. But I want to tell you guys, podcast, no fluff, it's not out. I haven't recorded it yet. But I think it's going to be number 30. And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I'll get myself in. But number 30, because the level of insanity that is being taught in today's network marketing world is just uncomprehendable to me. I just cannot wrap my mind around it. And I feel so sorry for so many good people that have been force-fed the Kool-Aid through a fire hose. And you know, it's got to change. I'll get off of it because man, I'll get off of it. Dawn will be coming in the studio and turning off my mic. Uh, my All right, guys, I appreciate you being here. I hope tonight's helped you. Let me stop this.